Recently, I had a question from someone asking if it would be all right to stop adding additional weight to their weightlifting sessions. They were concerned about putting undue stress on their spine and potentially hurting themselves. Today, we're going to discuss the key to building strength to improve bone health. And as part of that discussion, I will be answering this question about whether or not it's fine to stop adding additional weight at some particular point, and also how that affects getting stronger and the implications for bone health. Hello, my friends. I'm Sarah, and I'm a 500-hour trained yoga teacher and a certified BoneFit instructor. I'm also a nutritional health coach through the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. I am on a mission to reduce the number of fractures that happen every year, and I'm really pleased to have you join me in the journey to better bone health. So first off today, why is getting stronger important? Continually getting stronger improves our cardiovascular health. It helps to lower blood pressure, and it helps to improve our bone density. Bone density refers to how thick our bones are. It also helps to reduce general low back pain, which is always a good thing. Getting stronger is important at every age, and especially as we get older. The key to getting stronger is through what's called progressive overloading. Progressive overload basically means that you're doing something to challenge your muscles regularly. This is an important concept to keep in mind, one we'll keep coming back to today. So the question that I started this video with about what happens if a person were to stop using heavier and heavier weights and instead just maintain a certain amount of weight, the answer is that it depends on whether or not this is good for bone health. If a person were to do the same exercises in the same way for their exercise regimen, then they would just maintain. Their body wouldn't continue to get stronger. Maintenance is a good thing. It means that your body will find the same exercises done in the same way easier and easier. But there won't be a continued challenge. The upside to this is that you're not likely to have sore muscles. The downside to this is that if you were to take this option, then you don't continue getting stronger. This is a problem when you're trying to improve bone health, because in order to get stronger, healthier bones, you have to continually get stronger so that your stronger and stronger muscles pull on your bones in ways that build strength. Our muscles and our bones grow when they're being challenged. Our muscle tissue actually has regular microscopic tears in the muscle fibers that then our bodies repair, and this makes our muscles stronger. So this is also a good thing for our bones because our muscles pull on our bones. So there are several things to notice about what I just said. I mentioned that doing the same exercise the same way with the same amount of weight leads to maintenance or plateauing in your fitness level. But if you take that same amount of weight and do something different with it, then your body will respond differently to what you're doing. This means that you could actually use the same amount of weight and do more repetitions of the same exercise, and in this case, your body will experience what's known as progressive overload, where your muscles keep getting stronger. Your other option here is to use the same amount of weight to do slightly different exercises. Perhaps instead of doing squats, you choose to do lunges. This would work your body in a slightly different way and use some different muscles, which would help to create progressive overload for your body. So it is possible to use the same amount of weight and to continue getting stronger. You just have to do something different with that same amount of weight as you would, and then your body will continue getting stronger, which will benefit your bones and help them to also in turn get stronger and to become higher quality. This leads us to another important point to bring up about scientific research, bone health, and exercise. Scientific studies are designed in a way to measure something really specific in a designated period. They're also designed to remove as many variables as possible because this helps to ensure that the study results are an accurate measure of what's happening within that designated period of time. This is great, it's really insightful, but it does have a limitation. I just want it out there. I love scientific studies, and I actually spend quite a bit of time reading them. They show in a measurable way what things help to build bone, and I'm all about building bone. With exercise in general, when a person first starts doing regular exercise, they tend to see larger initial changes. And then as time goes on, at some point, their progress becomes a little bit smaller and not quite as dramatic. This is because at some point, the person hits a plateau or a maintenance in their fitness level. It becomes harder to lose the last several pounds or whatever your fitness goal happens to be. In our bone building world, it's that we may have seen an initial addition to our bone density, and then things kind of start to slow down a little bit. This can be incredibly frustrating to experience. This thing of hitting a plateau, it also happens in scientific research. If a person does the exact same exercises that are shown in a scientific study, they'll eventually hit that plateau range. And then the exercises that they're doing become slightly less effective than when they first started the exercise program. The way to address this issue is by changing the workout out just a bit. When I look at scientific research, I look for principles and patterns. What type of exercise is done in this research study? What part of the body is being worked? How is this beneficial for the body and for building bones? It's important to consider questions like this because then the scientific research has the power to inform how we approach exercise, but not necessarily the exact exercises that we do. With an understanding of what parts of the body need to be worked, then we can approach things in a slightly different way each time we exercise. We can learn from scientific research while still shaking things up in our workouts in ways that will create progressive overload and continue strengthening our muscles and our bones. So, the key to strengthening our muscles and our bones is to create progressive overload. Progressive overload is most commonly associated with gradually increasing the amount of weight that we use in weightlifting. But it can be applied to any form of strength training, regardless of whether it makes use of additional weights. Let's take yoga as an example. Say you're doing Dr. Fishman's 12 poses, and there's a designated time for holding those poses. Bone building is determined to be happening while holding poses between 12 and 40 seconds. If you start out holding a pose for 12 seconds, you can create progressive overload as you work your way up to the longer hold time of 40 seconds. But what do you do if you've hit the 40-second time period and it becomes easy? The answer is that you come out of the pose and then you can repeat the pose once or even several times. This is a form of increasing the repetitions to create progressive overloading and build stronger muscles and stronger bones. A person could also approach these scientifically designed yoga poses in slightly different ways. Maybe that person could choose to add dumbbells or ankle weights to a yoga pose, which would also create progressive loading and stronger muscles and bones in a slightly different way. It's important to take the principles that are taught in Dr. Fishman's research and apply it to yoga just like with any other scientific research study. Dr. Fishman's poses for osteoporosis are designed to focus on strengthening the spine, improving posture, improving balance, and creating some amount of flexibility to make it so that we can move more easily and safely. Outside the realm of yoga, moving more easily and safely is referred to as sparing the spine. If you'd like to learn more about sparing the spine, I actually have a series of videos that are on this channel that teach how to spare the spine and move safely with osteoporosis in ways that reduce the risk of having a compression fracture. There's a link to the playlist somewhere on the screen if you'd like to explore that further. So coming back to yoga for osteoporosis and exercise in general, when I teach a class, I look for exercises that are both in scientific studies and not included in scientific studies that are in keeping with the principles that are taught in the studies so that I can help people to mix up their workouts and continually work on progressive overloading with their muscles. The key to building stronger muscles and bones is in creating progressive overloading in our bodies. There are several ways to do this, including gradually heavier and heavier weights, doing more repetitions of an exercise, or by doing different exercises to keep things fresh and interesting for our bodies. I hope that you're inspired to adapt your exercise regimen in ways that will help you to create progressive overloading in your body. And if you found this video helpful, please share it with someone that you know and love. And if you're curious, there are some resources that you can explore further in the description for this video. And on that note, I look forward to seeing and talking with you soon.